Alright guys, in this video I'm going to show you a little bit about how to get started using drawing pencils and the different types. Now how they start out with is HB is in the center. So what it does is it goes from H, and H's are a lighter shade, and then as it goes up in the B's, those are a darker shade. So that means the graphite is a little bit softer, allowing you to get a darker tone. So the next thing I have to show you is a vinyl eraser. Being that the pencils don't have erasers on them, this is a really excellent eraser you can use. I also have these erasers, which kind of look almost like clay, and they are called Kneaded Erasers. These are good for picking out any loose graphite, so that if you don't want to totally erase something, you could just kind of go in and blot it over the drawing. And these are self-cleaning, so you could kind of stretch it out, and it will clean the graphite out of it itself. The last thing is this. It is called a blending tortillon. It's pretty much just a bunch of paper wrapped up to form a point to help you to blend with. There are various sizes, but for this demonstration I'm just going to use a smaller one. So this was one that I already showed you guys in class, and this image I did take directly from a magazine. We're going to be working on self-portraits in class. The reason I didn't do myself was because I feel like I do a lot of self-portraits, so I wanted to work with some other figures. So this is from a magazine, and this is one that's fairly finished. I would probably still go in and work on it a little bit more, and I'll show you guys how we progress in class. Now, this was one I started slightly last year, but what I want to do is I want to go in and show you guys a really easy way that you can go ahead and try to draw a portrait realistic by using measurements. So what I did was I took the photograph and I cut it in half. I found this from the same magazine that I found the other one in. I feel like it was National Geographic or something, but I don't remember the exact magazine. So I'm going to hold my paper this way, and what you guys are going to do is, because you have the other half of the picture, you can kind of line it up and begin to measure. So just by holding your picture up to the side here, you can go across and kind of see where the top of this eye would be. So I'm going in first with my HB pencil, and you want to sketch out really light. You don't want to go in and make really dark lines because that's going to be harder to erase. So I'm just going to go in, I'm going to try to get some of these basic shapes in here. Don't worry too much about the minor details just yet. Really just placing the nose and the lips and different things like that. Now what I did is I took the original drawing and I actually outlined the edge of it so that I know how much space I have to fill in the other side of my portrait. Now you can also line your picture up with the top of your paper, and you could bring it down this way so that I know my nostril ends here, and I'm just going to gradually bring my pencil down and kind of start to sketch in the nose. Like I said, you don't want to make any dark lines, just really, really light sketch marks, and you're just going to be working with your HB pencil for the first day of this. If any of you do get past this, I'm going to go over shading in the next demo video, but if you get to start to work on hair and things like that, I still want you to go in really nice and light. So I'm going to go ahead in, and I actually started shading her eyebrow a little bit. And what you want to do is you want to make sure that you pay attention to the direction of the lines. So usually an eyebrow starts out where you would have lines kind of coming up like that, and then they slowly go off to the side. And I'm just going to start nice and light to kind of get the shape. And she does have some hairs kind of coming up. And what you want to do is you want to really focus on what you see, not what you think you see. So keep kind of going back to your reference image and going through it. The next thing I did was kind of outline for the whites of the eyes. And then you could go ahead in and you could shade around those. Now when you look at an eyeball, and I'll hold this up close, it's not all just one color. And even if you look at some of your classmates' eyes, they kind of start with a darkness around the edge, and then they kind of gradually change color as it gets towards the black part of the eye. So that's what I kind of started to do. And we're going to spend a few days on these, and I'll show you guys how to really start shading and bringing out some darker qualities. But for today in class, I'm really just concerned with you getting a basic outline of the head. Like I said, make sure that you line up your picture on the side and make some measurements, and on the top and make some measurements. Don't be afraid if you make any mistakes. You could always go in and erase them. And that's all I'm going to show you today. Tomorrow I'll show you how to go in with some darker pencils and how to develop some more tones. So I hope this helped you guys and you could get started on this. And so make sure you take your HB pencil. You're going to cut your photograph in half, and then I'm going to let you guys begin sketching. And of course, I will be around to help you. Alrighty, thank you.